It looks like an SC Elite V4, it looks like a Rebel V4, but it's none of them. This is the SC Pacer V2, and let's review it. I think it's really exciting. Hey everyone, and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex, and in today's video we have the review of the New Balance Supercomp Pacer V2, also called the SC Pacer V2. This shoe was sent to us by New Balance. They don't get to preview the video. It's honest, transparent as always. Let's go directly into the specs. In terms of stack height, we have 32.8 millimeters in the heel. Let's call it 33 in the heel, 25 in the forefoot for that 8 millimeters drop. So it's almost 7 millimeters lower compared to the bigger SC Elite V4. Is it meaning that it's not a marathon shoe? Is it meaning that only the SC Elite can be used on the marathon and this should be used only on the 10K and half marathon? We should debunk that in a few minutes. But before that, the weight, 195 grams in the men's US size, 9.5 for New Balance, if I remember well, the sample size. In my size, US 11, EU 45, this shoe comes at 228 grams. Definitely a lightweight shoe. Remember, the likes of the Next Percent 1, 2 were at 216 to 17 in my size. Meta Speeds, the first version was 211. So this shoe, 228, is an interesting weight. Obviously with a lower stack and also what New Balance says, less rubber coverage, this should help reduce the weight. So that's one of the reasons it's more lightweight, and it's very pleasant to have that lightweight feel underfoot. Price point, we're looking at $200. I don't know the EU price point yet, but when the shoe releases, I believe August 1st, we should add a comment in the comment section with the EU price point and some links to our trusted retail partners. Let's look at the upper, and this is a minimal upper, very, very breathable. You can see all the holes in it. It's see-through all the way from heel to toe. It has a bit more padding, a bit more layers around the heel, which is good, providing with a good experience in the heel. Not too much padding, not too much comfort, just the right amount for a race day shoe. Remember, this shoe was developed with Emily Sisson, who helped New Balance basically to tune this shoe to her perfect marathon race day shoe, and therefore it's a race day shoe. It can be used for training as well, but it's meant for racing, and everything I'm saying here is meant to be applied to race day conditions, and this shoe has to be compared with other 5K, 10K, half marathon, and maybe even marathon race day options. The upper is on the minimal side of things. It provides you with a good experience. I like the fit. It's a snug fit. If you compare this shoe with something like the SC Elite or the Rebel, this is much more snug, much more dialed in. You don't have too much volume. You don't have too much space around your foot. It's really your foot, the upper, and a good connection between the two. The tongue is really also super minimal, not too much padding, no padding at all, if I'm being honest. It's non-gusseted, but it works well. It doesn't move around when running, doesn't slide around. I'm happy with this upper, to be honest. It's a simple, reliable, well-executed upper. The material is pleasant against the foot. I don't have any complaints. And for a race day option, it's a good upper, and that's it, period. One slight little comment, laces are so-so. They're not bad, they're not great. Nowadays you have those textured laces that many companies are going in the direction of, and I believe a good shoe like the SC Pacer could benefit from those next generation laces to make it a bit fancier. Looking at the midsole, this is Fuelcell, and as you know, Fuelcell is one word describing many different things and many different experiences. This is a PEBA-based fuel cell version, just like on the SC Elite V4. So it's not the good old nitrogen injected TPU fuel cell that we have had in the past on the likes of the Rebel V2 and more. This is next generation fuel cell, PEBA-based, and you can see it, you can touch it, you can experience it when running. It's definitely that foam that can make your running more aggressive, more dynamic, but also keep your legs fresher. I think fuel cell can be a bit misleading. I would really like New Balance to move away from that fuel cell name, keep it into one silo of shoes that have the good old fuel cell, and maybe call this fuel cell PB, fuel cell next, whatever the case may be. How does it ride? Because that's probably where it's actually really interesting. It's closer to the ground. You can feel the ground underfoot, especially in the forefoot with that 25 millimeters. It's still much higher than some old race day flats. A foam that protects you and you can also feel it, but at the same time it's a balance between the protection underfoot and a bit of ground feel, a bit of that closer to the ground experience that sometimes some race day shoes are now missing, and it's good to see it back in a shoe like this. It has an 8 millimeters drop supposedly To me, it runs a bit flatter than that, and that's also because it has a very minimal rocker in the forefoot. It's a long rocker, but the toe spring is not high at all, which makes you feel like you are, running on something a bit more flat than what you would expect, at least from an 8mm shoe. It's very connected to the ground. It's very aggressive. The platform is not super wide, and it may look a bit wider than it runs. I think this shoe is agile, but I also think it's quite demanding. I had it on the track. I also had an uphill session with this shoe. I felt connected with it. I felt like it was providing with a very pleasant running experience, very aggressive running experience, really suiting my running for 5K, 10K, half marathon, maybe, not beyond, just because I would be lacking a bit of cushion underfoot. But for that 10K half marathon or 10 miles, I would seriously consider this shoe just because of how connected I feel with it and how specific it feels at these paces. It's really a shoe that I can see working for people running faster paces. Let's call it sub 36, 10K probably, around that 120 half marathon, around that 255 marathon, something like that. For other people, it may be a good track shoe, something relatively stable, closer to the ground with a PEBA foam, but it's not going to be a race day shoe if you don't have the capacity to take this shoe to faster paces. At least in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, if you people out there have tried this shoe and it works for you at slower paces, please let me know. Sometimes I just don't have the knowledge of how it will run at different paces for different running styles. We can look also at the outsole. New Balance says it's a limited outsole coverage. I think it's actually decent outsole coverage, and the thickness of the outsole when I see it here in the heel is actually quite good. I would like to see for people really heel striking and that are rubbing that heel against the ground, how that heel will look. I think it's actually nicely protected. Energy arc system, as you know, it's a system that works together, the plate and the geometry of the midsole with that void. The void is meant to help the foam compress and expand, so increase the properties of the foam, and then the shape of the plate is meant to propel you forward and act as a lever together with that void, so more expansion of the foam and more of that forward propulsion feeling by the plate. Energy arc system, it's the same system, not necessarily exactly same design and same geometry, but same system as on the SC Trainer V2, SC Elite V4, and now SC Pacer V2. Quick conclusion, I'm very pleased with this shoe for my running and my training. It doesn't mean it's a great shoe for everyone. That's kind of the bottom line. I think New Balance is aware of that, and it's not going to be a shocker for them to hear this opinion. I'm also not sure it's going to be a dissenting opinion compared to what other people may say on the internet. And that's again because it runs like less than 8mm, dynamic, very aggressive, very agile shoe, and that's great. Spot on New Balance with that. I can see it working maybe better for lighter runners than heavier runners. It's also, I think, directly connected to the fact that they developed the shoe with Emily Sisson, a lighter female runner. For me, it's great, like I said, but if you are considering it, maybe try it before, just to make sure that you will benefit from it. And otherwise, look at the SC Trainer V2, V3 is also coming, and SC Elite V4. More foam underfoot with the SC Elite V4, a more cushion experience, a bit of a heavier shoe as well. But if you're looking at something for slightly slower paces or longer distances, I think that may be the better training companion than this one. If you want to, have a comparison, let me know which shoe you would like me to compare this one against. I think there's some good options in terms of comparisons on the market. If you have questions, go in the comment section. And let's link to the SC Elite V4 review, New York Marathon, here. And as always, thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy your run today, enjoy your ride. Go beyond your limits, and see you in the next one.